Okay guys, Bloody Egg here. A few of y'all have asked me about my garage storage organization system, and specifically the workbench I've got. And y'all want to get some more details, so I figured it'd just be easier if I made a quick video and uploaded it, and y'all can just check it out that way. A little background, garage is a little messy right now because I got two baby boys on the way, and I got lots of projects going on trying to get ready for them. So please excuse the mess. I'm going to start with the workbench because that's what most of y'all have asked about, and then I'll work around the garage and show the other fun things that I've made over time. And here's a just quick overview of everything. The camera I'm using shoots in HD, but it's not doesn't have autofocus, so you have to excuse me if I get things out of focus. Alright, so like I said, most of y'all have asked about this workbench over here, so I'm going to start with that. Basically, my wife wanted to make sure we could still fit the F-150 and the Accord in the garage with all of our toys, all of our, basically everything. And I wanted to have a workbench, but most workbenches, you know, they need a lot of space. So I did a lot of looking, a lot of searching, and I found a guy online that was making workbenches, not making workbenches, but he had plans for workbenches. That fold just like this, and I'm going to show you. So you see, it's got a 2x12 frame. His plans call for a 2x10, but I made it just a bit thicker, and I'm just going to show you how it works. Like I said, I'm working this camera with one hand, so you have to excuse me if it gets a little wonky in just a second. So I'm going to come on in. It's hooked up with this right here, the safety chain up top. That was my own addition, and then another one over here, just to make sure it never comes down without me wanting it to. So I'll just take one off. Alright, so I'll just fold this on down. Alright, that's it. Basically I've got a 2 foot wide by, I think it's, I can't remember, I think it's 4 feet long. Piece of plywood on top, 3/4 inch, and it's got the like I said, 2x12 frame. We got the majority of my hand tools I use the most in here, as well as the frequent screws and nails and Allen wrenches and all sorts of stuff that I use up here. Below, I've got my tool bag that has all my everyday tools that I use all the time, and I got a quick little vise here attached that I can take off and attach to the top when I need to. A lot of y'all asked about the hinges. So down here I've got just regular 2x4 with some 2x2s adding the support going across. Let's see if I can get that with the light. Let me go to the other side. Alright, that's better. So you got a regular 2x4 here. The hinge is in between the top support here and the leg support here. So you can see that right there. So you can take a better look at the frame support. It's just a simple little 2x4s put together. And you can see over here, the hinge is actually above, here on the top of the workbench. And again, you got the same 2x4s going across. No, that's 2x2s, but on the ends, 2x4s. Adding the support. So it's actually pretty simple. It only took me about half a day to put it together. And that was one of my first woodworking projects in here. Please excuse the top. I had never really stained wood and it came up pretty bad, but I don't mind it. It's a workbench. It's going to get messy. Okay, so I'll come back around to that. Let me just show you guys everything I've done so far. Whenever I first moved in here, I had loaded it up with tons and tons of shelves. There wasn't that much room. I really hated it. So my main goal is to get as many of those shelves out as possible. So the fun part is when I bring my neighbors over and they see everything that I've got going on over here, and then they walk in, they finally turn around, and then they look up and they see the fun things up here going on above the garage door. So these bins over here, I found this idea online. I think it was the familyhandyman.com, and basically it's just some 2x4s with some plywood cut to a specific length, and you see those blue lines running across. Those are my joists running above. So each track is screwed into the joist above, and it can hold a ton of weight. Like bin number 6, I got a ton of my paint supplies, tons of cans of paint, and it hasn't budged at all. So I got those 6 bins up there. I need a ladder, or I'll use the back of my truck to get up there and get them down. And what I did was I made a quick little overhead bin. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Bin storage item list, so I know exactly what's in each bin. And then over here is the let's see if I can get that in focus. There we go. The overhead platform. This is my own design. I just measured out, how much room do I got above the garage door when it's open, and I worked around that. So it's basically just 2 large sheets of plywood. It's 6 foot by 8 foot, so it's 8 foot across, so running this way, and 6 foot deep. And I think it's 21 inches, or not 21. I can't remember how tall I left in the room. Let me go and close the garage door, and you can see how it's made underneath. You see, it's got just enough room for the garage door to pass through. I don't know if y'all heard me over the garage door. It has just enough room to pass underneath. So I've got 8 foot 2x4s going across, adding the support underneath the plywood, and then I've got 1 support beam going across. It's screwed into the joist with lag bolts, so you can see up there, and then just regular 2x4 screwed in with some good heavy-duty construction screws. On the other end, I've got the support beam screwed into the studs with, let me get that in focus, again with lag bolts, and it works great. It's still can hold a lot of weight. I can jump up there and basically bounce around on it. It's not coming down. All right, let me open up the garage door, get some better light in here again. Okay, you see over here, this is a regular shelf. I saw all this space that I had up here. It's unused. Why don't I use it? I got a couple ladders here hanging on the walls with some tool racks. And then up here I've got a couple bike racks that I put my largest ladder on too. And before you worry, those can support the total weight that I've got on both of them. Over here just got my normal Aggie signs. Of course, gotta have that for when things go bad. Okay, then we got the locker system. I got that off a dude on Craigslist, I think for like $100. I wanted to have storage for all the normal stuff that we use in the house all the time, like light bulbs and little tiny screwdrivers and plastic bags. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to look at that stuff. So found this puppy and loved it. Added this little shelf in the middle for my batteries, for this little speaker for my iPod, and I put the dog food and the cat food in here. And then up here, y'all might be thinking that's a bit tall, but I'm 6'8", so reaching up here is no big deal. Then this is the thing y'all saw last week. This is the big, giant woodworking cabinet that I made. 8 feet tall, 6 feet wide, about was it 30 inches deep. So I'm just open it up. Here, let's see if I can get that open. Stay open. Okay, so I've got room for all my tools. Got my clamps, the squares, respirator on the door. Got my air compressor, table saw. The shop vac is actually going to get moved down when I get my drill press and bandsaw. The miter saw, router table, miscellaneous tools for woodworking, my other router, and then other little hand tools going on up top. And I've still got about 14 inches above for more stuff, but don't have anything to put up there quite yet. Okay, so yeah, got a refrigerator over here, nothing special, a little bit of storage above. Built this with just regular 2x4s, this corner storage unit. Same thing again, I just have 1 support beam going across the top for going with lag bolts into the joists, and then another support beam going across into the studs for support, and then I just fashioned up some 2x4 to length and added that in. My wife's got all of her Christmas decorating supplies up there. And then we've got what a lot of y'all have seen. This is the, I can't remember the name of it, Racor. I'll put a link in the description. Basically it is a platform that can hold about 250 pounds. I used to have my miter saw and my air compressor up here. And basically you have a pole that hooks up to this hub right here, and you can either use it by hand with a hand tool here, or you can hook up your 1/2-inch drill to it, and it will drill, or the platform will come all the way down to the ground to about 7 or 8 inches off the ground. It goes pretty far. And you see I've got these straps on here. These are just for safety in case the metal cords were to ever fail on me or to have any kind of problem. I don't want them falling on my future kids or my wife or cars or me even. And then I guess the last additions were just the lighting. When I first moved in, there was just this one light here, and right now it looks just fine because the garage door's open, but at night it got pretty dim, especially when everything was installed up on the ceiling. So I put another light over here, another light over there, and another one underneath that platform storage over there. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just let me know. Preferably text us because I check that a whole lot more than YouTube. Yeah, y'all have a good day.